What is going on, everybody? My name is Nico and welcome back to another Scarlet and Violet video. We have the new information on what the next 7-star raid is going to be. It is actually going to be Greninja. Greninja is going to be the Terra Poison type that has been rumored for a while, and this is what I'm thinking is going to be the hardest Terra raid battle that we are going to have for a while, because Greninja's move pool is so good that it covers a lot of the things that are strong against Poison type, and it makes things very complicated because we don't know the moveset right now. But I've been working on just a couple things. All of this is subject to change. I will have an updated video closer to the launch of this particular raid den, so that way we have a better understanding of what could actually be good once we have an idea of the moveset. But if this is your first time here on the channel, and if at any point in the video you find this entertaining, helpful, please leave a like and comment below. Leave a comment what you think is going to be good against this Greninja. But I want to talk about this particular raid a little early on, and then we can kind of start speculating once we get a little closer on what builds here are actually going to be viable. So let's get into it. So first things first, I want to actually talk about Greninja, because there's a lot of different moves that this Pokemon can get, and it makes things very difficult. So it's going to be a pure Poison type, which is going to get interesting. I'm assuming the ability is going to be Protean. I don't think it's going to be Battle Bond. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for it to be Battle Bond. Just because they like to have us be able to breed these Pokemon post-event, and Battle Bond, I guess, currently is not in any egg move pool. So you're not actually allowed to use this to breed, so I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think it's just going to be Protean. But it's just really, really difficult to kind of think about what this is going to get, because of the fact that this has such a deep move pool, right? So first off, I think we're going to see Water Shuriken. Water Shuriken makes a lot of sense just because it's this Pokemon's signature move, which, you know, we got to think about what's weak. Oh, what's strong against poison, right? So hold on. So I got us on Muck's Cerebi page, because Muck is a pure poison type. It's the first thing that came to mind, right? So poison types are weak against ground and psychic. Ground and psychic types are the key element here. But what is strong against ground and psychic types? Water and dark types, which is what Greninja's base attacks are. That's why this gets so complicated, right? Because the two things that are going to be the most powerful against this are also something that Greninja covers for very effectively. So things get pretty tricky with Water Shuriken. This thing is probably going to have access to Ice Beam. If I had to guess, Ice Beam is going to be on this, or some ice type move. It does get access to a lot of fighting type moves, which makes things a little difficult. I think this is going to lean more toward the special attacking side, because that's just what Greninja does. They may throw a curveball at us and they may use attack, but I would venture a guess that it's more likely that we get a special attacking Greninja here. Dark Pulse is likely to be on this because, you know, it's got the dark coverage then. And then we have, I am assuming it's going to have Raindance, much like Charizard had Sunny Day, so that way it can boost its own water type attacks, right? I think that is going to be a likely moveset, with a couple other sprinkled in, because they have a tendency to throw a couple extra moves on the raid Pokemon. Maybe it gets I don't know, maybe this is the one that actually gets Terra Blast, and it uses its Terra Blast, right? So there's a couple different things that this Pokemon can do, and it gets kind of difficult. So I've been brainstorming just some quick off the top of my dome ideas for what could be good into Greninja, right? And I want to start with the stuff that I think is going to actually be really good regardless of what the moveset is. So first up, I have Gastrodon. And I think Gastrodon is going to be the MVP of this particular raid. I think this is going to be an absolutely phenomenal Pokemon, simply because of the fact that it, one, resists water type. You can't hit it at all with a water type attack. It resists ice type. It takes neutral damage from both poison and dark types. So I think this is just going to be a very, very awesome option, because of the fact that it also gets recover, so you don't have to necessarily cheer to be able to keep this thing in the battle. It's a very beefy Pokemon anyways, and Ability Shield is going to be very nice on this, just to ensure that you don't lose that Storm Drain ability. That's going to be super, super big. So recover, Earth Powers on this, because if it tries to Water Shuriken you, you're going to get bonus special defenses, which is super, well, bonus special attack. So your Earth Powers are going to get more powerful the more it uses Water Shuriken, which is super cool, right? This also has the ability to lower the special defense to give you that opportunity to do more damage with Gastrodon. I have Helping Hand on this because Gastrodon is obviously not like a super crazy attacker. So Helping Hand is super nice to be able to, you know, say, hey, everybody else do your thing. And then I have Amnesia just to make myself a bit more bulky with this Pokemon. Now, we have 252 HP, 252 special defense, and I'm going to throw a modest nature on here just because we want to be able to do a little bit more damage, right? I think this is a really solid option in terms of making a good Pokemon for this particular raid, because you have options in ground type attacks that are going to do super effective damage, and you have good supporting moves as well to keep this Pokemon alive and not necessarily, you know, going down left, right, and center, right? I think this is going to be a solid option. Next up is actually Dondozo. I think Dondozo has a lot of potential to be a pretty solid Pokemon into this particular raid. Just because it's so naturally bulky with 252 on the HP and 252 on special defense. And then you're going to go ahead and, you know, give it an adamant nature, do all that fun stuff. You don't even have to really give it an adamant nature, truthfully. You can give it something like careful, right? This Pokemon has such high base attack anyways. It's going to be a very solid option into playing into this because it has access to Noble Roar. You're able to lower the special attack by 1, which is really cool. You have Earthquake, which does huge damage, which is very nice. And then you've got Rest and Sleep Talk here to keep this thing just alive and kicking, right? I think this is going to be a really solid option for handling this particular Pokemon. I really do. I think this is going to be a fantastic option just for kind of walling it out more than anything. Now, we used this during the Charizard raid. A lot of people had this running around, and this is assuming that it has no physical attacks. If it has no physical attacking moves, this is going to be a fantastic option. We are looking at a Blissey here with 252 HP, 252 special defense, 4 special attack because we just had to slot it somewhere, right? You can slot it in speed, it doesn't matter where it goes, right? Leftovers is on this thing. We have Life Dew, Helping Hand, Heal, Pulse, and Light Screen. This is just a support Pokemon, exclusively a support Pokemon, but I think it's actually going to have a lot of value for helping the team out because this is, like I said, going to be such a difficult raid. That I think this is actually going to be a really beneficial Pokemon. Again, assuming this has no physical attacks. If it has a physical attack, we're in trouble. Now, the other 3 are ones that I've kind of been brainstorming, but I don't know the moveset, so they could or could not be good. That's what it comes down to. They may be good, they may not. It's completely up in the air if these are actually going to be useful or not, right? So the first is King Gambit, and I think King Gambit has potential to be good, assuming that Greninja does not have a fighting type attack. If Greninja does not have a fighting type attack, King Gambit is going to go absolutely crazy in this raid. Okay, so I have it with an Expert Belt. It has Defiant just in the off chance that, you know, this thing runs like Icy Wind or something that's going to lower your stat. You get bonus attack off that. It's going to be very nice in that regard. I have Zen Headbutt on this, Snarl, Swords Dance, and Leer. I think this is going to be the best case scenario for this particular Pokemon. I think this is going to make it so you are able to handle this very effectively because, 1, you can't be hit by poison type attacks, you resist dark type attacks, and you take neutral from water type attacks. I think this is going to be a very solid set for this. Again, assuming this has no fighting type attacks. If it has fighting type attacks, you're going down and you're going down hard. I would say in terms of Terra, you're going to want Steel for this. 252 HP, 4 attack, and 252 special defense. Okay, I think this is going to be a potential candidate for being something that can do some work. Amoonguss. Now, I don't think Amoonguss is honestly going to be that great. I think this is likely going to have an ice type attack, and that makes things very difficult for Amoonguss. But in the off chance that this does not have an ice type attack, this Pokemon could potentially go nuts. I have Growth on it, Stomping Tantrum, Sunny Day to reverse and lower the amount of Water Shuriken damage that you're going to take. Effect Spore is the ability, Expert Belt, and Synthesis, right? So the idea is you set Sunny Day and you start growthing, and that is going to do increase your attack stat, which is going to be really nice for this particular Pokemon because you're running Stomping Tantrum to do big damage. So you set it, get bonus from the sun, it gets +2 in the sun, and then if you need to heal, you have Synthesis to do that because of the weather. I think this is a really solid set, assuming it has no ice type attacks, and I just don't see that being a thing. I very much see this Pokemon hitting you with an Ice Beam and this getting rocked, okay? So, the last Pokemon that I thought might be good, it's a total toss-up, right? Because we have no idea what the moveset is, but I think this has some potential to be a very solid Pokemon. Baxcalibur. I think Baxcalibur has so much potential in this raid. I gave it an Expert Belt. I got Earthquake on it, Swords Dance, Focus Energy, and Leer. I think the strategy here is you get in the battle, you immediately go for Swords Dance, then you boost up with Focus Energy, and you smack it with Earthquake a bunch for critical hit damage. That is going to be your best case. Or you can Swords Dance twice, then use the crit. That is going to be the best case scenario for this particular Pokemon, right? I think that is just going to make this a powerhouse. You're resistant to water type attacks, you resist ice type attacks, you take neutral damage, I think neutral damage from poison type attacks, and you take neutral from dark type attacks, right? I think this has a lot of potential to be a very strong candidate into this. Again, assuming we have no fighting type. Fighting type gets scary, but it only has access to physical fighting type moves, and if they lean into the special attack, I don't think it's likely that we see a fighting type attack. In terms of like Terra, give it a steel Terra typing, that's going to be perfect, right? Another Pokemon I completely forgot about, but I definitely think deserves some recognition here is Berserker. I think Berserker might actually be a fantastic candidate. Again, assuming this doesn't have any fighting type attacks, this could be really good with Hone Claws, Iron Head, Sunny Day, and Helping Hand. Just basically set this Pokemon up to do huge damage. You could even, instead of running Sunny Day, run like Screech or something. Just a couple different options there. I think this actually has a lot of potential to be a very, very strong Pokemon into this particular raid. So I think these are the, just off the top of my head, great options for this particular raid, right? I think Gastrodon is going to be the one that we see a lot of people bring. Gastrodon has so much potential into this raid. It's going to be just a phenomenal Pokemon. Dondozo, I think, is a decent option. Blissey, I think, is going to be really good. Blissey made Charizard a baby. Like, you couldn't be touched by Charizard once Blissey got in the field, right? So I really think that, assuming there's no physical attacks, again, we have no idea what the moveset is, so it makes it very difficult. But assuming there's no physical type attacks, Blissey is going to go nuts. That is going to be it. Again, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think might be good into this. Let me know what you're kind of brainstorming right now. I think there are a lot of potential candidates for this particular raid, but it's going to be very difficult for the typing reasons that I talked about earlier in this video. So if you enjoyed it, at any point found it entertaining and helpful, please leave a like and a comment. And subscribe for daily Pokemon content from me. Also, be sure to check out the Discord where people over there playing Pokemon all the time, and we'll be like sharing our raid builds because we're all already thinking about what to take to this. So check out the Discord, and if you want to see more from me, check out this video where my Baxcalibur team went absolutely crazy on the ladder. Super fun. And then also check out this video where I show off the best Dondozo movesets to use in VGC right now. So be sure to check that out. A lot of cool stuff. But until next time, peace.